much. Just stay up, bro. Up. No, stop, chair. Stop. No, not. Watch as I shrink magically like. So listen. Here's the deal. I realized a lot of things. Hey, Erica, what's up? So I was doing this, and I completely am doing it wrong. I've been sitting here thinking about it all day. Every time I look at it, I just want to punch myself in the dick. And, I'm doing it for a different reason, for a different purpose. And, as with so many things that I do, I kind of battle myself regularly. And, I kind of say, you got to marry mind and soul creatively to achieve goals. The problem with this thing here is, look at it. Does it look anything like I'm accomplishing anything? No, it fucking doesn't. It looks like a goddamn egg on a pedestal. Like, what the fuck am I even doing with some magical curtains that fucking whatever. It looks like a goddamn second grader's painting. I don't even fucking know. So I'm going to just let my fucking shit fly. I realize I'm not connecting with this at all. And it bothers me. Because I should have a lot more. I've disconnected myself with this problem for a long time, because this whole piece is based around, my mom wanted me to paint a picture of her. And in that, I kind of had this feeling on, how it should go, and my logical brain kind of agreed that this is kind of how it should look, and this idea came to fruition. It's working. But I think my thought process is going too strong with trying to make it perfect and some kind of defined point. I've disconnected myself from the overall abandonment and feelings that I would normally have with my mom and all the bullshit from that. And maybe it's because I gave up on the whole thing a long time ago. I didn't give a shit anymore. I never forgave my mom, but I never blamed my mom. Life is life, and happens to be whatever it is. Whatever happens, happens. You can't blame any one particular person for what fucking happens in your life, because, this shit just falls in place. And with it all just falling randomly in fucking place, you can call it fate. You can call it whatever you want to say that it is or isn't, and blame it on whatever you want to blame it on. If my mom at, 15 or whatever would have fucking kept me, would my life have been full of abuse? Well, when that age came and her fucking friends were getting me drunk and shit as a fucking baby, and they were throwing footballs at me because I couldn't stand up, that wasn't much better, was it? So where the fuck would my life have ended up? My mom being the party animal that she fucking was, living it up. Would having a baby really been a good thing? No. She wasn't done living up her life. She was the kid who had a kid. Just because I fell into another place, terrible place, and I was thrown into this shithole of an existence, where one of the parental figures neglected me in a lot of ways, and the other one abused me in a lot of ways. Didn't make it worse or better, and we'll never know what could or couldn't have happened. And so that mystery, you can spend your whole life going, well, what if? Well, what if I did this, or what if that would have happened? It didn't. So why waste your life questioning it? Why waste your energies wondering? Why worry about that bullshit? Because it's bullshit. You can't worry about the past. You can't say, well, I need to, oh, what about this? Or what if that would have happened? It didn't happen, so fucking shut up. It didn't happen, so fuck it. Shut up. Wow, that almost shot out onto my fucking floor. All right, then. And that's the key thing. You can't let the past dictate your future or your present, or you'll never fucking be alive again. You'll only be in the past, and you'll always exist in the past, and you'll have nothing but the past. The past will be everything to you, and you can't be that. My mother is that. My mother is the epitome of that, because she never forgave herself. She blames herself, and I can't forgive her for what she did to me or didn't do for me or anything like that. Only she can,
Dad, my clothes disappeared.
You didn't take them in there with you.
Yes, I did.
You
My
literally?
clothes disappeared.
No, you literally didn't.
My clothes disappeared, Dad.
You walked in there with clothes and shit, and then you walked back out and came back with a towel into the fucking bathroom with no clothes.
My clothes disappeared.
Go away.
Where are they then?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't worry, he's in a towel.
What am I?
Yes, you
I
are.
have to say that for legal reasons.
No, you're literally in a towel, thank God.
You wouldn't see anything anyway.
So anyway, I can't forgive my mother for what happened to me growing up. What's with the headaches? Are you staying hydrated? Oh, bro, I suffer from migraines. I have my whole life. Tell them about Edward the Vampire. Shut up. I've had migraines, like, really, really. He has brain damage. Actually, from my childhood, my wife has questioned. When I was a child, the gentleman who abused me was a rather large man. At one point, if I'm not mistaken, around topping the scales closer toward the 400-pound area. Really, really large dude. And he would smother me under his weight. And we're talking, I'm a little kid. I'm 13 years old. Technically, step-grandpa's possession. And he would crush me and smother me until I would go unconscious for long periods of time, and basically suffocate me. And my wife said that perhaps it is some kind of brain damage from that or something, but I don't know. But no, Andrew, my brain swells. They don't know why. I actually had a mini stroke like 5 years ago, and I went blind in my left eye. It cut off all circulation in my ocular cavity on the left side. Killed the nerve. It fucked me up, dude. And but it was like one step below a stroke, and destroyed me, dude. It was terrible. And but now my brain doesn't work at all, and some of it they do believe was questionably from brain trauma as a kid, things like that too. Then psychologically, there's a lot of issues and stuff too. What?
It looks stupid when it's wet.
Not really. No, it looks good. Now go away.
What?
Thank you. We cut his hair. But anyway, as far as it goes, but yeah, this whole painting thing here is supposed to be my mom. My mother wanted me to create a painting reflecting of her. The problem was I've been very disconnected from this whole idea, and I shouldn't be. If anything, I should really delve deep into my own existence and connect creatively to my soul and my own internal struggles wrapped around my abandonment issues and women-hating issues. It did create a lot of distrust in me, feeling abandoned growing up from my mom, and a lot of women trust issues because my grandmother was very neglective. When I would tell her about the abusiveness growing up, that he would be doing these things to me, and my grandma would say some of the dumbest shit. Oh, he doesn't know his own strength. Oh, he's just playing games. You know, oh, he's not being serious. He doesn't mean it. You know, these things he's doing to you. You know, and, you know, when you're a little kid and the very people that are sworn to protect you are treating you like you're a liar or that it's a joke or that they don't really care, it trains you to not talk to people, not seek help, and to be, you know, and when you get in trouble for it from the person doing it, like, oh, you're going to tell on me now, huh? Well, nobody's going to fucking listen to you anyway. And then you get hurt more from it. You're trained not to talk about it. And that gets really hard. It gets really upsetting, and you just stop. And then when they ask you stupid questions about the bruises and, you know, all that crap, you just make shit up. Because it's funny how your own counselors told you were a fucking liar when you tell them what really happened the first time. And nowadays, you know, you look at your kids wrong and I'm going to call the police, and you get arrested for, you know, hate crimes against your own children because you looked at them wrong, you know? And it's funny. It's funny. So I'm not even going to think because my brain's not even fucking working today. This headache's killing me. And I did take something for it. And see, here's the thing. It's not a migraine yet. It could be. I don't know what's going on right now. A lot of my regular headaches are just regular people headaches, but I'll get like migraines. And migraines aren't headache based. They're different. But when things get too bad, my migraine stuff will fuck up my whole body and my brain swells. And like, again, they don't know what's wrong with it. I've been to a neurologist. I have a neurologist. And it's a whole mess of shit. You know? It's a whole mess of shit. I hate it. I hate having my brain not work. So anyway, thing is this is way too, the structure is wrong, and I know it's wrong. And, you know, I had this thought, these ideas about what this is, you know, and it all still makes sense. It's supposed to still be this thing that it is, but the brain is too controlling, and I can't keep doing that. So I thought, what greater time to paint than when my brain doesn't function properly? And I'm going to try not to become emotional or anything. You know, I don't want to feel a lot when doing this. I just want to not think so much about it, you know? But, I mean, I grew up with a lot of abandonment issues for damn sure. And this needs to, you know, delve into that. My mom has her own issues, and this isn't supposed to be about me. This isn't my painting. You know, this is supposed to be my mom and what she is. And it will be entirely that. You know, this is definitely going to reflect that 110%. But at the same time, a huge part of her existence has been her being sorry for what she has done. You know, every time we talk, you know, not every time, but a lot, is this conversation. And she brings it up and she says she's sorry and she wishes she was a better mom. And, you know, she's gone out of her way to help me now and do things for me. And even my grandma has become not neglective now. You know, she quit that shit a long time ago when she caught him cheating on her. And then she realized, oh, he's not a good guy after all. Fuck you, grandma. You know, like, what the fuck was that? It sucks, man. My parents basically brushed off an issue I had. It's not my problem. Tell your father or mother, I don't have time for this. And yeah, dude, that's, you know, Andrew, and that's the thing, bro, is as a kid, especially a young kid, I didn't have control over where I went or who was to protect me and save me from the big bad world. And the shittier part was when the big bad world is the people that you're supposed to be, that's supposed to be protecting you, and they're the big bad world. The fuck is that? I mean, the fuck is that, man? I am getting very mad. But when you're just a little kid, and these are the people who questionably love you, and all you need is them to tell you that it's fucking okay. And they can't even fucking do that. You know? They don't give a fuck about you. Why the fuck did they even take you? Not that your life would have been any better. Because it wouldn't have been. My life probably would have been a drug-addled fuckfest of crazy. I mean, I'm a good person overall. You know, I'm not drug-addled and fucking drunk, and I don't fucking beat my kids and, you know, do a bunch of dumbass shit or nothing like that. I'm an asshole to my kids, but, you know, that's just out of love and fun. It's probably a subconscious reflection of my childhood and how I was raised, actually. But it sucks, dude, because when people are like that, you have no way to fucking turn to. Because when you do turn to somebody else, and they're like, well, have you told your parents? They're the ones doing it, man. If they knew I was fucking telling you, I'd get it twice as bad. And it sucks if your parents are telling you, you know, I don't have time for you. Go tell them. Go tell them about your fucking problems. I don't have time for this. That's the kind of shit, you know, they're ignoring it. Ignoring you, ignoring your problems. Now, when you're older and you're a teenager, that's kind of expected, you know? That's part of the growing up process, part of life. You're going to be a big man, a big woman. You got to go out on your fucking own, you know? And that's how you grow up. When you're a little kid, you can't do that. You can't do that. You know, once I choked on a fucking mint. A fucking mint from Sonic. I've never had a peppermint since. We're talking, I was probably, I don't know, 6, maybe 7. I don't know. And my grandpa owned he always did produce sales, a produce shop or something. It was just right here across town. And I choked on it. Fucking one of those little red and white peppermints. And I swallowed it. And it got lodged in my throat. And I could barely breathe. And it hurt so bad. And I got so scared. And I couldn't talk. I was like, you know, and I was so scared. Well, he was busy with a customer. So I ran up and I couldn't find my grandma. And I was trying to tell him, and he shrugged me off and said, I'm busy, get away from me. Didn't expect much help from him. I finally found my grandma. She was sleeping in the van taking a nap. And I was trying to beg her for help. And she told me, I don't have time for your fucking games. You know, go away, leave me alone, I'm taking a nap. And I then went off into a back corner of the fucking store. And I sat next to a goddamn refrigerator for I don't know how long. I honestly don't. To me, it was an eternity. You know, I was a little kid. It might have been legitimately hours, I don't honestly know. It might have been 15 fucking minutes by the time it melted and went down. I don't know. But I sat there and was panicked that I was going to fucking die. As a little kid, the fear of death surged through my mind, body, and soul for the entire time. That was it. I mean, do you know how traumatic that fucking was? I mean, you shouldn't be fucking going through that as a kid. Your parents, your parental guardians and shit should be like, oh, fuck, are you okay? You're choking. What's going on? Even if you're playing a game and you're like, you know, you should be like, are you okay? Like, seriously, are you okay? But no, it was just, get the fuck out of here. Man, get out of here. You can't do that. You're... And then in life, see, I didn't know my own mom, not until I think it was about 14 or something around 14 is I think when I moved in with her. Trying to think. But even then, like I said a couple days ago, she wasn't a mom. She didn't want to be a mom. She wanted to be a friend. And that was a terrible idea on her part. You know, it didn't work at all for her, for me, for any of that. It was just an atrocious idea. And I don't know what that idea really was supposed to have been. But that's because she didn't know how to be a mom, you know, and that sucks. And the thought process of all that is, you know, try to patch up the relationship you best you can. I don't know this kid forever. I don't know my fucking son. You know, I've only had him for 2 years now. He's 15. So this is kind of almost the same situation. And I'm not a very good dad to him. I'm not. I'm a terrible father figure. I'm a terrible role model to him, that's for sure. Because here I am, I'm a sarcastic douchebag. And I don't know how to raise a son. I didn't have a dad. I didn't. Don't even know who my dad really is. The guy who questionably is my dad died just last year, and I don't give a fuck. Met the dude twice. He tried to kill me once. True fucking story. If you're not my son, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he had a fucking 12 gauge and was gonna blow me away. I had the cops come and take him away. Like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, you're not my dad. I don't know who the fuck you really are. You may not be my dad, apparently. So what the fuck ever. But he's dead now, so fuck him. And, well, I mean, don't, because that's necrophilia and that's illegal in like 37 states. The rest of them are still catching up, I guess. But as far as it goes, I don't remember what the fuck I was saying. So anyway, yeah, the point being is, you know, when you're a little kid, though, and, you know, I do my best now to take care of the kids, to make sure they feel safe and that, you know, there's no question that they're cared about and cared for. You know, I don't want them to grow up thinking that, oh, well, even, you know, a stepdad, because, you know, Kyra's my own and Nivek's my own, but the other two are not my own. But I've always treated them pretty good. Ariana and I have always had this weird, she hates me. She literally hates me. But I try. And it is what it is, you know. So, but I let them know that I give a shit about them and stuff. And, you know, even after they grow up, you know, I'm still going to be around. And if they ever need anything, whatever, you know. Because kids need to have some kind of solid foundation there. They need to feel like somebody's there for them in their fucking lives. I never had that. You know, I never had that kind of security. I had a mom who wasn't there, and I knew once in a while, like, my grandma was a fickle human being. Her and my mom had such a feud, and they just hated each other so much for so many fucking years. Apparently my mom told me that she sent me presents all the time. My grandmother told me she never sent me anything. What you say, she just ignores it or disregards it or says that never happened. You know, shit like that. So even now, I've had to let go of so much of my past simply because I'll never get resolved. I'll never get an end. I'll never get, a conclusion. What is it called? Where things come together and you get a satisfactory ending. I think it's a conclusion. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. I'll never get that. And I accept that. Sometimes you have to accept that. So that sucks. You know, it sucks that is what that is. And I'll never be able to know some things. Like I would love to ask my grandmother some questions, like, why the fuck did you not listen to me? But she'll never be like, oh, well, let me tell you. Nah, she won't. She don't give a shit. Because she feels like a bad person when she knows it. She found my diary once, because I used to have a diary when I was younger. All of it was written down. The accounts, all that shit. And she called me up once. This is when I was out. Closure, thank you. Some people have selective memory. Yeah, she has a selective memory. Exactly. And yeah, closure is what it's called. And but she found my diary once. I had all this stuff, and she found it because I had moved out, and it had slipped between like a dresser and a wall or whatever. And this is after she was divorced and years later. And I guess she fucking thought it was a good idea to fucking read it. Like that wasn't embarrassing as fuck. So when she called me up, she said, I found this book today. And as soon as she said that, I just froze. I said, fuck. Because I knew what it was. And I just got super, super like embarrassed, because it had a lot of detailed stuff that I never really wanted anybody to know, Like abuse and thing is enough just to state. But there's certain details that you're not comfortable with, And she said, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to know, is everything in there true? And because keep in mind, I never really told her details. I just said, hey, he's hurting me. And then she'd be like, oh no, he's just playing games and yada yada. I'm like, no, he's doing bad things to me. And she wouldn't talk about it. She didn't want to hear it. But she had just married the guy, so of course she didn't want to hear it. She didn't want to think of the guy she just married as a bad dude. Makes sense. So I said, yeah. I said, every bit of it's 100% fucking real. And she said, okay. What do you want me to do with it? I said, fucking burn it. Please, just burn it. Burn it, burn it, burn it. She didn't. I guess she fucking hung on to it, planning on like showing it to everybody, like everybody in the fucking family or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Because my grandmother apparently just loves to, gossip and stuff, old ladies and things, I'm like, no. So I got it. And I'm like, let's just burn that. And nah, we're not doing that shit. My fucking asshole aunts and shit don't need to fucking read that garbage. They didn't. So we're good. But, and I'm not meaning to go into all this here, but this is the point of this. This is the whole point of this. This is the whole point of me starting this. It was my own therapeutical outlet. And I've gotten way off track. I've been into politics shit and rights for this and trans that and trans fats and, all this shit. Just trying to voice my opinions on things and, I guess general ideas of whatever, but I'm not connecting with myself anymore. I'm not getting things out anymore. He died, by the way, too. The guy that was an asshole to me growing up, my abusive grandfather, he died quite a few years ago. And I met him before he died once. And it was very interesting because my therapist actually at the time said that I needed to meet him, get some closure. Some comes out when it needs to. But she said, hey, you need to get some closure. And I said, why? What happened happened. Why do I need to go meet this dude and then bring all this shit back up to the surface? I've buried it deep, covered it with enough dirt, stamped it till it's just solid rock. I don't need to go back and revisit that shit. I don't need to go dig that garbage back up and feel that and feel embarrassed and humiliated. And then what, talk to him about it? What the fuck is that going to accomplish? Fuck you. Fuck you, man. Gotta choke back the feelings. Choke back them feelings. He's not going to be sorry. He's not going to be sorry now that he's older. Why would he be? You know? Why the fuck would it matter? So he ended up, I met him though. And when I met him, I didn't even recognize him. He was at a store and my mom was talking to him and he came out and he lived there in his own piss and shit. And I mean that quite literally. He literally lived in his own piss and shit. He lived in a bait shop and he lived in the back of it with no running water, no running anything. And he pissed and shit in a bathtub for real and in buckets and lived in filth. Here's how I know it all, because he died right after I met him. He was not a big and imposing man anymore. You know, I'd grown up. I'd grown quite a bit. This is in 2002. So, you know, I was 20 something. I was still skinny and stuff. I couldn't, you know, what am I going to beat him up or something for what he did? No, I'd already given up. I'd already not really forgave, but I'd kind of at that point said, fuck it. I'm never going to get closure. It's irrelevant, you know? So at that point, I never expected to see this guy. I saw him. And when I recognized him, I went, what the fuck? He'd lost tons of weight, wearing this overly sloppy shirt. And he seemed so much smaller. He was shorter than me now. Keep in mind, when you're like, you know, six years old, this towering human that's, you know, hundreds of pounds, you know, big fat dude. And you're a little kid, he just seems like he's a million feet tall. You know, he seems so scary when he's doing these terrible things to you. And, but then when I was taller than him, he was so frail and fragile and just, he looked like he was dying. I felt nothing. I didn't feel like punching him. I didn't feel anything. My therapist, when she found out that, she was like, well, was that closure for you then? Was that enough? And I said, no, that wasn't enough. Said, I mean, I don't need closure. I gave myself closure years ago thinking, fuck it, I'm never going to see this guy again. I'm never going to give him two shits of time. I didn't say two words to him. I just turned around and left. But here was the deal. My mom was buying that store off of him. And I didn't realize it at the time. Went by there to see what place she was getting. He died not very long after. Here's the kicker. So I went to help my mother clean up the place of the man who I was raised by abusively, you know, and to see his last days was crazy because he literally pissed and shit in buckets and in a bath. The bathtub was just nothing but a cesspool. When you walked into his living space, his room, and it was just, you would vomit from the smell. It was ridiculous. We gutted the place. We cleaned it. I helped my mom clean the whole place out and redo the whole building. Not redo the whole building, but that area I helped clean it out. We pulled the carpet. There was a dead cat under the carpet that had been flattened, squished, and flattened and forgotten about under the carpet. I don't even know how that happens. But a cat somehow got under the carpet, died, rotted, I imagine bloated, popped, stank away. And I guess because of the stank of the room itself, they must not have realized. And I mean, how could you not realize walking over the carpet that there wasn't a dead thing under there just cesspooling away? But that was the kind of filth that man had turned into and lived. My therapist then asked me, weeks and months later, whenever she found out that, if that was closure. And I was like, bitch, what is your fucking problem with closure? I got my closure years ago when I said, it's over now. I'm out of this dude's grasp. I'm out of his life. He's out of mine. Fair fucking well. Good riddance. I'll never see you again. Fuck off. She suggested, because she's like, well, I don't believe that. I don't believe you got your closure. And I basically said, I don't give a fuck what you believe. I don't need to go back there. I don't need to revisit up here and in here, all that shit. She suggested, well, you need some kind of, maybe you should go piss on his grave and dance on it. I was like, bitch, I'm pretty fucked up in the head. But you just want motherfuckers to go do weird ass shit. Like, you want to go jerk off on his headstone while you're at it? I mean, fuck. You want me to film all this so you can jerk off and you can pick it, and become a DJ at home watching me fucking do crazy shit? And like, no, bitch. You need to calm down with your fucking weird ass ideas of closure. I'm just like, I don't need closure. I just need to not think about it. I need to just let it go. My mom, we talk about my past, her past, the way it all happened, and she feels responsible. She says, if it wasn't for me giving up, letting you go, you never would have been there with him, with them, and that never would have happened to you. I said, you're right. You're 100% right, Mom. And that's true. It never would have happened. So my mom blames herself for all my abuse. I mean, it's possible. But don't know. Because my mom, she was a punk ass kid. And her shit ass friends were fucking feeding me booze and doing dumbass shit with me. And treating me like a piece of shit fucking tag along thing because it was fun to throw footballs at me. Treat me like a piece of crap. I mean, so it would have been the same bullshit. It would have been a different group of fuck sticks fucking me up. What would have been the point of it? What would have been the difference? That's the thing. Would it have been different? Or would it have just been a separate group of people with the abuse? Don't know. We can't go back in time and say, hey, it's better. Woo! All we can do is be where we're at now and say, hey, I'm all right. Am I mad? No. Was I mad back then? Yeah. I mean, when I was a little kid, I tried suicide 3 times when I was 11, 12. I attempted suicide 3 times. Because at that time, I really felt that ending my life was a better option than living it the way I was. Obviously, I failed. I didn't know shit about suicide back then. I mean, I really had no clue how to do it or anything. Thankfully now, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not disappointed that I didn't know. Not now. But at the time, You know, it gave me this weird complex that maybe I was indestructible. I kind of am. I really kind of am. After the abuse I lived with for 10 fucking years and stuff, shit just doesn't seem to hurt me. But I attempted it. I did some dumb shit. One of them sounds trivial and stupid, but it was the intention behind it. I attempted to choke myself to death. I understand. Duh, that's dumb. But when you're an 11-year-old little kid, that doesn't register that you can't do that. I didn't know you couldn't do that. At the time, you know, hanging, I didn't understand how to make a noose. I didn't know how to do that. Otherwise, I probably would have done it and I would be dead. But at the time, I thought, well, I'll just strangle myself until I die. Because that made sense to me, you know, at the time, you know, 11-year-old kid brain. Well, when I attempted that, I passed out, I guess, because it didn't work, which is pretty accurate to what happens. You know, you just kind of go until your brain goes, oh, and then you let go. So it doesn't exactly happen, you know? It doesn't quite work the way you think it will. Oh, well. You know, chugging a whole bottle of Tylenol. Now, that one's a little different. That one's almost questionably a bad idea. Luckily enough, I just ended up puking that back up and had the taste in the back of my goddamn throat. The sinuses, oh, I still taste every time I think about that medical taste. Oh, God, it was so bad for like days. Like days. Oh. And anyway, my third time did end up me getting in the hospital and tubes down the throat and flushing my stomach and things. So that was bad. But living through stuff, good times. Charcoal in the stomach, bad times. But but all in all, I didn't need closure. I got my closure by accepting life is life. You have to understand, shit happens to all of us, man. Our parents hopefully do the best that they can to do the best for us they can. Hopefully they're good people. Hopefully they come through for us in the end and we grow up and be good people. Sadly, there's a handful of those in the world. Shittily though, the ones that are the shitholes raise up other shithole people and they become shithole people to their kids and the cycle continues. I was told I was going to make bad decisions and that I was going to raise monsters and that I was going to abuse my kids too. The cycle is a possibility. I am a douchebag to my kids. I don't do it in a negative way. I do it in most metal. You know, I've already been struggling with some of my own demons lately and I needed to hear this today. Thanks for that. I mean, I'm glad I can help, bro. I'm sorry that, you know, you got your own demons. We all have our own demons, man. And you know, a big part of why I always made music, cycles aren't unbreakable. No, they're not. And that's the key thing. You have to accept, though, that they are a possibility so you can recognize signs and say, whoa, that's a bit much. I'm teetering on the brink of doing some fucked up shit. We gotta curb check this. And that's the key thing. You gotta recognize your problems. You can't deny, you can't pretend everything's okay. You have to accept your faults. You have to accept, you know, that there's a possibility of doing it. That's the scary part. You have to understand it's possible. And I've always kept that open mind, you know? And I think that's saved me a lot from doing anything abusive to my kids, you know, other than being an asshole to them. You know, how long did it take you to realize that parents try their best despite the circumstances in your upbringing? Would you say, despite the circumstances, your mom and grandmother did their best? I still don't know if I've come to that conclusion. Honestly, I was an adult because my mom. Awesome question. Here's the deal. When I was a kid, look, okay, how long did it take you to realize that parents try their best despite, yeah, circumstances in your upbringing? You say despite the circumstances. Okay. Here's the deal. When I was a little kid, I didn't understand anything that was going on. Okay. And the problem was, is I listened. My mom told me one thing whenever I did meet her when I was like 13. You know, she would tell me some stuff this way and that. And then my grandmother would tell me completely opposite shit. So at that point, who the fuck do you listen to? You know, really quick though, on Endless Metal, the reason why I've always made music, the reason why I always paint fucking weird shit, because it gets the stuff out of me. It gets my frustrations. It gets my demons out into something creative. And that helps release the pressure out of me. And the reason why I release it to the public, the reason why I went out on stage, the reason why I would play these songs in front of all the people and I'd rock out for them and I would do this shit live is because I would hope that people would get something from it that they need. That maybe it would affect them in a way that they could say, I'm not alone, man. I'm not alone, man. You know? So I'm really glad, dude. I'm really glad because this is why, man, I've always done everything, dude. Just, it's important. It's important to make sure you connect and people understand they're not fucking alone, dude. Because I was alone forever, I thought. And it ends up being there's a couple other people out there that are fucked. So, hey. But when I was a little kid, I did not understand what was happening. And I had people on both sides telling me different stories. Somebody had to be a liar. And you don't want to think your mom's a liar, but you don't want to think your grandma's a liar. Even though it's like the Stockholm syndrome. Even though you're being raised in this abusive household, my grandmother neglected the fuck out of me. For 10 years, though, that's the person you listen to. You know? So to what degree and what point do you believe who? You know? So when you're a little kid, it becomes a big confusing fucking mess. You don't know who to believe or who to listen to or what to think. As I grew older, I was able to open-mindedly make my own decisions on who I thought was being honest. Eventually, my mom and my grandma made up. My mom lived in the same town we did, so I moved in with her. That was a mistake too, but it was a mistake either way because my mom had married a complete douchebag and he was abusive to her and to me. Not the same kind of abuse, but he was just super threatening, super drunk, super verbally abusive. Like he would come out, like I was still creative and I was making a monster suit one day. It was terrible. I was just like spray painting a sweater to make it look like a monster suit. It was god awful. It was, you know, if I saw somebody making that now, I'd laugh at them and then pull down their pants and kick them in the ass. And but no, he just came out drunk and pissed and starts kicking all my shit and telling me I was stupid for doing it, like stuff like that. So it was like, but to me, that was like, all right, whatever. So, which is kind of sad. But the thing was, is when did I realize that, you know, they were doing best with what they had in the circumstances? Because my grandmother being so restrictive and not letting me play outside as much or not within their direct visual range because my mom said, I'm going to kidnap him one day and you'll never see us again. You know, my grandmother was very neglective in some ways, but overprotective in other ways. It was weird and confusing and frustrating. But, you know, with that, I never understood. I never realized what if she was doing her best with what she had, dude. Now that I'm an older and I can think about this shit thoroughly, I still don't know, you know, my grandma's got mental problems, dude. Okay. My whole family, it's just genetically shit rolling downhill. Okay. I know I gave my son some fucking mental issues for sure. I'm fucked up in the dome nugget. You know, my mom's fucking, she talks to goddamn trees, you know, about their emotions. So, you know, my whole family's fucking fucked up in the dome. But I don't know. I suppose my mom now does the best she can. She's really tried making it up to me. I do know that. So I do know she is trying her best these days, especially like my son when he came down and I gained custody of him a couple of years ago now because his mother gave up on him and she said, fuck it, he's your problem now. I'm done. And I'm like, great, sign his custody completely over. I'll take it. This is what I've always wanted. I always wanted my son. You fucking strong-armed him away from me. Courts don't like dudes. So I lost him. But he was a train wreck. My son was suicidal, homicidal. He was messed up. So we immediately had to get him a lot of psychiatric help and psychological help. It was terrible. And I didn't know if he was going to make it through. He did, though. He's doing really great now. A lot of self-esteem. He's come back, getting him in the gym, getting him feeling good about himself. He's really come a long way. I'm really proud of him. But my mom, I think, is trying to make it up to me by helping me with him. Because when he was having major issues, he punched holes through the fucking walls and hit himself in the face on the fucking chimney brick wall thing and stuff, like trying to really hurt himself. We had to take him and be like, look, you're going to my mom's and you're going to stay there for a while, you know? So he'd go over there and she was always really super receptive and helpful. And she's super helpful now and super attentive. And my mom's like a really wonderful mom now. So now, how long did it take me to realize that she's doing her best? Now, a few years ago when she's really tried to be a mom now, because even when she became a mom to me, a mom back in the day, she wasn't really a mom. She's trying to be my best friend, and it was just a big mistake, and it was terrible. She didn't really become like a mom figure to me until, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago or something, And that's weird to think about, half my life ago, less than half my life, my mom wasn't even a mom. And my grandma, she's become way better. She's just a cranky old woman now, but she's become way better. She's still neglective of being responsible for any actions that ever happened or anything like that, but that's just what it is. You got to accept things for what they are. That's the main thing people need to realize is sometimes things are out of your control. And when things are out of your control, you have to understand that is what they are. Do you ever have thoughts that the help from your mom is superficial and fake? That's a damn good question. In what way? Why would it be now? Like, I feel as though she's trying to make up for what happened. Like, I think she feels pretty bad. Personally, I think she feels really bad for her lack of motherhood back then. And she's trying to make it up now. Otherwise, I don't know why it would be superficial and fake. Like, why would you believe that that would be a possibility? Like, what would be a reason behind that? Life, Fortnite fashion. Thanks for the update. Guilt is probably part of it, but I don't think she's malicious. See, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Because again, when we get into these conversations about all this, she cries a lot about feeling like a piece of shit mom. And again, I've told her, like, I'm not going to tell her she's not. I'm not going to tell her she wasn't. But like I told her quite a few times, I cannot forgive her for what she did. Only she can do that. Because, I gave up years ago about it being a problem. And I never really worried about it. It is what it is. It was what it was. And nothing's going to change that. Nothing's going to go back to the past. Nothing's going to be like, whoop-diddly-doo, magical spell, everything's fine. The past is fucked up. My past is fucked up. Dude, Endless Metal, your past is fucked up, I'm sure. You know, Erica, Andrew, you guys' past is fucked up. You know, but you know what it is? You know what it is? Behind us. I ask this because nowadays it seems that my own mom tries to make up for supposed lost time with me, and I can't help but think it's fake. And it might be, dude. Your mom is not my mom. Your situation and your circumstances are not my situation or my circumstances. Completely different worlds, buddy. Your mother may be superficial. Your mother may be fake. You know? If you have a gut instinct that that is what it is, follow your gut instinct. Okay? I've learned that gut instincts, you know, are usually always right. Always right. My gut instinct, in fact, has never been wrong. And that sucks. If she's trying to make up for supposed lost time with you, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know your situation, bro. It sucks because you guys are all forced to just listen to me rant. And that's great for me. Not so good for you trying to be like, hey, what do you think about my situation? You know, it's not really a two-way conversation. It's mostly me just being like berating you with my fucking information and you have to deal with it. So it doesn't help you. But if you have a gut instinct, a gut feeling about it, go with it because guts are always right, dude. And that would suck. That would suck. And I don't want to tell you, hey, yeah, that's what it is. Good response, and you're right. My mom is not my mom. Your mom is not my mom. Different circumstances. Yeah. So, I mean, you can't base your own personal answers off of my situation. You know, and if we could do that, everybody's problems would be solved with one answer. You know, and that's not the way the world works. It's way more complicated, unfortunately. So, you know, but man, you know, I don't know how honest of a person your mother has been in your life, but I was going to say maybe you should just sit the fuck down with her and straight up be like, look, what the fuck is this about? You know, I don't know how straightforward you are to people all the time. Me, I'm just like, the way I talk to you guys is the way I talk to my mom, the way I talk to my grandma, the way I talk to my kids. I talk to everybody the same, except for with the Italian hand. I don't do that. I'm like, hey, fuck you. I'm going to break your legs. No, that's my wife. I do something annoying. She's like, I'm going to break your legs, the husband. And then she kicks me down the flight of stairs. And not really sometimes. But as far as it goes, you know, the thing is maybe you should just set her down and be like, look, what's really going on here? Don't bring up that you're questioning it being a false sense of, you know, thing going on. I also don't think your mom is Asian. You don't know my story. You don't know my life. And Asian people do have different culture. You know, you guys do have, I mean, obviously you're fucking Asian. That's totally different culture than America. But I know you guys have a different standard of how communication works and the family structure works. A huge difference in respect and honor, things of that nature. In fact, I highly respect the Asian culture overall. Like, I kind of wish I was fucking Asian, to be honest. I'm not like, you know, I know there's a lot of people who are obsessed with it and they go like, you know, I don't know what I'm thinking here, but there's a word for it where they're like super crazy obsessed with Asian culture, so much so that they're like, I am Asian, and they're not Asian. But like the Asian culture, with the fact of how they are so much more honorable people, it seems, I've always respected that because I'm a man of respect. People respect me. I respect them. You know, it's pretty fucking simple. That's how it works. Sadly, a lot of people in America are not really that way. And that really bothers me. Makes me mad. And they're all douchebags. So, not all, but you know what I mean. But, oh, when I jabbed myself in my ass. I think I hit a blood vein too, because that was a lot of blood coming out of my ass. Last time I said that, I was in a gay porno. Wait, what? I'm just kidding. Or am I? No, I am kidding. But yeah. But anyway, man, maybe you should just talk to her, though. I don't know. I don't know how she would take that. I don't know how straight up she would be. I don't know if that's a good idea or not for you guys, and how that. Oh, I think you missed the part about the. I think I missed the part about ask Jamie, did you give yourself a shot? Yeah, I gave myself a shot before I started this. So, and what up, Lisa? So, I take shots in the ass. Meat shots? No, I don't. I don't take meat shots in the ass. And if you do, that's fine. Hey, that's fine. But you know, not my bag, yo. But no, I take testosterone shots, and I just took that before I started. So I shot myself up the butt before I started my shit. The painting is starting to take shape now. You need more headaches. Yeah, no, I got sick of the structure, man. Ah, crap. You need no Band-Aid. That was a terrible accent, and I think that's called cultural appropriation. You're going to have to wait. I know you're going to have to wait now. Let it dry out. Let it air out some more. You're fine. Your mom will be... Oh, my God. I'm burning up, man. Your mom will be home in a minute. I'll have her get a Band-Aid. I am, but unless you're going to do it by yourself, you're going to do it by yourself? No, I'm live.
I don't care.
I know you don't care.
Go in there really quick and then come back.
Are you going to do it by yourself, though? Okay, then. I'll get you your Band-Aid. One moment, please. Oh. Ouch.
Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome, sweetie. You got a shirt on, remember?
I know.
I can't find it. Oh, I'm trying here. Hey, why don't you use that one? Oh, here's this. Here, wait, hold on. Here's your glass. Oh, there you go. All right, skedaddle. I love you.
I want to write you. Plus, I need to go to the restaurant for that.
Or you can sit right there. Oh my God, I'm fucking dying here.
Yeah.
No cussing, I get it. Sorry. She's such a turd.
You're such a turd.
But anyway, bro. Yes. Again, you might just straight up talk to your mom.
Okay.
No, I'm talking to people on here. Sometimes the best way to get answers is just point blank say, give me some damn answers. You know?
Give me some answers.
I have a headache, sweetie. I really don't need it. Okay. Thanks.
Hey guys, I'm live. Did he already say he had a headache before?
Yes, I did. I've had a headache this whole time. So in fact, the video is called I Have a Headache. And I shot myself in the butt. Let's paint.
Why?
You need help? Are you sure you don't need help? Just ask him, man. Just ask him.
You're lucky you didn't have that stomach problem.
What stomach problem?
Well, not a stomach problem. Not a stomach problem, but
Where you're pooping all over the place?
diarrhea.
Yeah. But you diarrhea all over because you're anesthetics.
I know. I literally did it for 4 days.
You haven't even been off. You haven't even been out of the hospital for 4 days. Oh, so how did you do it for 4 days? today, even put that on there tighter on your toe. Just squish it up there. All right. Anyway, you haven't even been out tighter. I don't know what I'm saying, sweetie.
Sus. You're saying sus.
No, I don't know what I'm saying, man. I think my brain's getting worse.
Go to sleep.
Oh. Paint says brain. This is just my placeholder to know what I'm doing. Welcome to the live with Eric, painting an angry octopus having a stroke. You came in. Nah, I'm good, bro. Yeah, I'm good. No, this is normal. It's actually not that bad. It's I can still see straight. So, and I'm still functioning, so I'm actually doing pretty good. As of right now, I'm doing all right. It's just really starting to fucking kick in. Yeah, I've already taken stuff for it. It just hasn't kicked in. It shouldn't be normal. Oh yeah, no, nope, it shouldn't be normal, but it's kind of normal for me. And this is why, like, sometimes, you know, like, you won't hear anything from me for like a fucking week. And I'm like, oh, I've got a headache, day 4, can't see straight. No, literally can't see straight. I can't even like stand up and walk sometimes. And sometimes I like have to crawl to the bathroom to pee and stuff. It's ridiculous. So. What? Because my head. Not right now. But yeah, it's. And then sometimes those are things for the weights. Paint. And then sometimes, oh, it does look like an octopus, dude. You're right. What the fuck? But then sometimes, sometimes my brain, fuck, I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, sometimes I'll just lay in the bathtub for like hours and hot fucking water and soak my head. And then I got this vibrating thing that I shove in my head. It's all kinds of stuff, dude. So it just depends on how I'm feeling about it, kind of shit. You know what I mean? On what to do to fix it. In fact, when I'm done here, and am I having a stroke? Hope not. But it, you know, it's a possibility. When I had the mini stroke last time, they said, I was like, man, it's this, you know, should I be really worried? And they were like, well, you know, maybe it could happen again. You know, there's definitely something going on. They're like, you need to get your blood pressure checked out, all that shit. And at the time, I was having some high blood pressure issues, and that was so I got on some blood pressure meds, and that's normal now. But I'm also on some migraine medicine. But I have to, now that the holidays are over, I'm going to make another neurologist appointment because I don't think those are working at all. They're supposed to balance out the normalcy of time of how often that I get them. So it's fine. But nah, it's pretty normal. This is not that abnormal for this to be doing what it's doing. So, you know, it's fine. Fuck me, I'm burning up though, man. Shit sucks. Disapproving woman look. What? Well, because I said it's fine. Disapproving woman look. That's funny. My wife gets on me about that too. She's always like, "Oh, you're not fine. Do this, do that." I'll probably take some heavy ass narcotics for it here in a minute. I have some for emergencies. For this reason, it's not like illegal shit. It's prescribed to me. But you know, the pills. Oh, fuck me, bro. Really? It's not. I can't have that on there. But pills for pills to stop this stuff are like really expensive. So you take them sparingly, and your insurance company doesn't fucking cover them. So when you're paying, oh, broadcast pause. No, don't pause. But when you're paying a fuck ton of money per pill, you know, you don't just eat them like they're candy. Do you have a way to check your blood pressure? I do. Wait, no, do I? Can you paint on those pills? Jesus. Oh, I probably can. Yeah. No, I don't think I'll probably pass out. I usually take them before oh man. I usually take them before I go to bed. Do I have a way to check my blood pressure? I don't know, man. I'll just go hop in the bathtub in a minute. So that's what I'm going to do. Shouldn't my blood pressure should just be like, no, I think that's normal. I think I'm fine. I'm good. I'll head up there in a minute. I'm starting to get clammy. No, that's pulse. Yeah, but your blood pressure would be like kaboom, kaboom, kaboom or something, right? Because, you know, I'm pretty sure that's how that would work. Keeps pausing, man. Stop pausing, bro. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it good. I mean, it's been about an hour. My wife just got home and she's going to yell at me for something. Probably to clean up or to take something from my head.
Are you still alive?
No, I'm not still alive. I just started it like an hour ago. I've been doing it all day.
You were alive when I left.
Oh. Well, I was live. I did another one, so. But I have a really bad headache now kicking in, so I'm about to quit.
Noodles, you fucking asshat.
I'm about to quit and go take some shit.
Should have taken some.
I already did. I'm just gonna go take some heavy duty shit. Holy fuck. And okay. You have to get up and call the school in the morning. Oh, because Kyra's not going to school because of her foot. I'm not okay, bro. Headache. Thanks for tuning in, but I'm literally getting off of here. I was doing all right till I stood up. And then I think that really helped my headache go, oh, by the way, you forgot about us. Because after that, my blood pressure probably did like rise and drop or something. And that really helped flush the blood through my system probably. I don't know, but now I'm going to go take some major shit for this. Knock myself the fuck out for the night. And fuck it. Take care of business. That's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to go take some shit for it. I'm clammy as fuck. Oh my God, my head's all getting like that clamminess and stuff. Like, you know, when you get that nervousness right before you puke or something, it's like that. Only I'm not going to puke. I don't usually puke. But yeah, I'm feeling it. Like the wooziness is there. And take care of yourself. Man, I always do. It sucks. And by no means is me being like acting like it's okay. Does it make it all right? I'm like, it's normal. It's okay. It's not. It sucks. Yeah, it's cool. Thanks. Make sure I'm still alive. But no, it's definitely sucks. So I'm outie 5,000, yo. And go away. I'll catch you guys later. And yes, okay, goodbye.